Hi everyone, my name is Julia Lewisser. I will be presenting my CIP project on flexibility in the workplace, specifically requiring flexibility. So a little disclaimer before I start, every employer has a different meaning of flexibility in the workplace. This has been shown in a bunch of different articles and studies done that workplaces have different flexibility levels of what they offer their employees, and then also their desire to offer it to those employees. The objectives of my presentation will be to provide flexible workplaces that should be required for all companies, and this could be done through various ways, such as being a part-time worker working one day from home, or even just having a 4-day week. Those are just some examples. And it is beneficial for everyone involved, for both the employer and the employees. A little description about flexibility in the workplace are those different implementations that I just said before. And ideal is the most common implementation after COVID-19 back in 2020. So ideal stands for the individualized work arrangements. And basically what it is an agreement between the employee and the employer on flexibility and how it benefits both sides. And then offering flexibility benefits along with that flexibility from working could be childcare, healthcare, and paid time off. Organizations that utilize flexibility in the workforce are Air Products, Google, Moravian University, Amazon, and Wind Creek. So Wind Creek in Bethlehem offers flexible work arrangements, and it helps to minimize emission in the air. That helps their employees cut back on gas use, and also they offer childcare expenses to all of those employees that are eligible for it. So some advantages of flexibility in the workplace are those different implementations, so you can get what works for you, and it also helps with the work-life balance. So you get to do whatever works for you, which helps less stress, to be less stressful in your workforce. It helps with an increased productivity amongst the employees. And in a study done in 2013, employees who work from home were actually more productive than those in the office. And this is just due to the fact that some employees have less stress, they take less breaks, and have a quieter work environment when they're home rather than in the office. It also comes with a higher work satisfaction and higher retention rate. So those workers who are offered flexibility are more likely to stay with their current employer when those are offered. And it also just helps companies adapt to those current day ideals. So there is a principle called the TQM principle, which stands for Total Quality Management, which encourages employees to invest their best efforts to achieve their organizational goals, which is helped through flexibility in the workplace. Up to disadvantages of flexibility, companies are often stuck in the transitional phase. So a quote from an article is they had unfrozen old ways of working and wanted the clarity and stability of a refreeze, but they just weren't there yet. This comes with loneliness, which leads to less communication between employees, and then that leads to fatigue in the workplace. So having a hard time adapting to new environments and different work dynamics leads to stress, which leads to fatigue, and all of the disadvantages that I mentioned before lead to this. And flexibility in the workplace is not always equal. As I mentioned before, there's a different bunch of implementations. So it's not a one size fits all, and there might be some discrimination against flexibility. Now, keep in mind, companies must answer these 4 questions below in order to transition into flexible environments. This is a disadvantage due to the fact that many companies do not use this approach to flexible work environments, and therefore that leads to a struggle in the transition. As I mentioned before in the last slide, they are stuck in that transitional phase between the unfreezing and refreezing. And then an interesting tidbit that I want to mention when I was looking into all the articles and studies was when implementing flexibility into the workplace, following those four questions actually help to create a safe space for all employees. And then a question that I wanted to dive more deeper into and also get opinions on from all of you is even though flexible like time in the workforce has many benefits as mentioned before, how can we just ensure equality? We know that there are a bunch of studies done that shows that minoritized groups not getting like flexible time, such as like single mothers and that ideal worker. But like, how can we ensure equal opportunities for all when doing flexibility in the workplace? I hope everyone enjoyed my presentation and can't wait to hear your feedback.